Daniel Harper. I'm not someone who scares easily. I work at sea. You learn fast not to panic out there. This happened 15 years ago when I was 19. It was my third trip as a deck crewman. The ship was an old American cargo vessel operating out of the port of Norfolk, Virginia. She was almost 30 years old, which is very old for a working ship. I won't say the ship's real name. Some people who were there are still alive. From the first day, something felt wrong. New guys always get messed with. That's normal. But on this ship, the jokes were different. Guys kept asking me, "Do you believe in ghosts?" I laughed and said no. One of the senior crew smiled and said, "You will." I thought it was just another scare tactic for rookies. I was wrong. About a week in, it started. I had my own small cabin, no window, metal walls, long hallway outside. Late at night, someone banged on my door, hard. 3 loud knocks. I jumped up and opened it fast. The hallway was empty, no footsteps, no voices. I figured someone was messing with me. Then it happened again. And again. Day or night. Always 3 knocks. I got faster at opening the door, hoping to catch whoever was doing it. I never did. My cabin was in the middle of the hallway. Anyone running away would have been seen. But there was never anyone there. I asked who lived next to me. One cabin had an older man, maybe 60. He barely walked without help. The rest of the hallway? Empty. That's when I stopped laughing. My job included night rounds. I walked the ship, checked cargo areas, radioed the bridge if anything looked off. That's when my radio started acting strange. Sudden loud static, screeching noise. I would call the officer on duty. "Did you call me?" Every time the answer was the same. No. It happened on different radios, not just mine. One night around 2:10 a.m., I was checking the laundry area. Suddenly an alarm sounded. A watertight door started closing. Those doors are heavy. They can crush a person. I radioed the bridge. "Are you closing doors?" The officer said, "No. Panel shows everything open." I pulled the manual override and forced the door open. I moved forward. Then the next door alarm went off. It started closing too. I opened it. The moment it fully opened, it started closing again. Then I looked back. The first door was closing again. Lights flickered. My radio screamed with static. I realized something was trying to trap me. I ran. I barely made it out. The next day, engineers tested everything. No faults, no errors. 2 doors failing together like that was nearly impossible. After that, I never went into the laundry area alone. One night after my patrol, I came back to the bridge. The second mate, a tough guy, was sitting there shaking. His face was white, teacup rattling in his hand. I asked what happened. He said he heard footsteps behind him, thought it was me. When he turned around, someone was standing right behind him, an old man, pale face, wide eyes, pure hatred on his face, so close he could feel his breath. Then the figure was gone. That man cried in front of me. I had never seen him afraid before. Months passed. I stopped reacting to the knocking. One night I was lying in bed, reading. I turned off the light. I felt something standing beside my bed. I told myself it was nothing. Then something sat on my legs. Heavy. I could move my arms. I could move my upper body. But my legs were pinned. I reached for the light switch. My hand stopped inches short. I swung my arm through the air. Nothing. I shouted, "Get away from me!" The weight lifted. I turned on the light. The room was empty. From that night on, I slept with a nightlight. Even years later, I still do. One night around 4-6 a.m., a few of us were sitting in the ship's bar, talking, trying to stay calm. Suddenly, someone pointed. A vacuum cleaner was floating in the air, 2 feet off the ground, facing us like it was watching. The second mate started muttering nonsense. Then the machine flew sideways and slammed into the wall. Not dropped, thrown. None of us spoke. More things happened, but this story is long enough. Months later, I left that ship. Not long after, it was sold for scrap. I searched its history. I found nothing official, but I know what I lived through. I've worked on many ships since then. I've never felt that same presence again, and I hope I never do. Because that ship didn't feel haunted. It felt aware. My name is Ethan Collins. I served with the U.S. Coast Guard for 4 years. Most of my time was routine patrol, long nights, quiet water, boring shifts. This happened in July 2015 off the coast of North Carolina, not far from the Outer Banks. I still don't talk about it much. Not because I'm scared people won't believe me, but because I don't know what I believe anymore. It was around 10:15 p.m. when we got the call. A commercial freight ship reported an unlit fishing boat drifting in a busy shipping lane. No lights, no response to radio calls, engine supposedly dead. That's dangerous out there. Our patrol boat, the CG-742, was closest. We were ordered to investigate. There were 6 of us on board. I was part of the boarding team. We reached the coordinates about 30 minutes later. At first, I saw nothing. Then the spotlight hit it. A small fishing boat. Old. Paint peeling. Completely dark. No movement, no engine noise, no smell of fuel. It was just there, floating. We boarded carefully. This area has smuggling history. People hide traps, explosives, weapons. But the moment my boots hit the deck, I felt something was wrong. The boat was too clean. No nets, no coolers, no food, no clothes. Fishing boats are never clean like that. It didn't feel abandoned. It felt unused. My team checked the lower compartments. Crew quarters, engine room, storage. Nothing. No signs anyone had ever slept there. No trash, no stains. The engine was fine. Fuel was fine. There was no reason the boat should have been drifting. Our captain decided to tow it to the nearest port. We secured a heavy steel tow cable. This cable is rated for several tons. You don't cut it by hand. You don't snap it easily. By midnight, we were moving again. The fishing boat followed behind us, silent and dark. The ocean was calm, clear sky, good visibility. Nothing felt threatening, at least not yet. Around 3 a.m., I was on watch inside the pilot house with 2 others. That's when the lookout radioed in. His voice was tight. "Sir, there's a blue light on the fishing boat." We all froze. That boat had no power, no lights. I grabbed the night vision binoculars. What I saw made my stomach drop. There were blue lights glowing on the deck. Soft, cold, not flashing. And moving between them, figures, human-shaped, but wrong. They looked like people made of mist, thin, semi-transparent, walking slowly, no faces, just shapes. Some of the blue light reflected under the water, like it was shining from below the surface too. None of us spoke. Then the fog came, not rolling in, not drifting. It formed. Thick white fog exploded outward from the fishing boat like a curtain dropping. Within seconds, we couldn't see more than 20 feet. Radar went messy. Sound carried strangely. Then the tow cable pulled hard, violently. Our boat jerked backward. The cable screamed under tension. If it snapped, it could cut someone in half. The captain shouted orders. Engines pushed forward. The pull got stronger, like the fishing boat was moving on its own. Then, suddenly, nothing. The tension vanished. The cable fell into the water, slack. We pulled it back in. It was cleanly cut. Not torn, not snapped. Cut. Like a blade had sliced it. No tool on board could do that. And no one was near the cable. The fog thinned just enough for us to see again. The fishing boat was gone. No wreckage, no lights, no radar contact, just open water. The ocean was calm again. Too calm. Later, we wrote the report. Official version. Possible unauthorized occupants. Tow cable failure. Vessel lost in fog. No mention of lights. No mention of figures. We all agreed without speaking. Some things don't go on paper. Weeks later, I heard something strange. Another patrol crew had seen the same thing. Same area, same blue lights, same fog. It became a quiet joke among some sailors. They called it the Phantom Fisherman. I don't joke about it. I know what I saw. That wasn't a normal boat, and whatever was on it wasn't stranded. It was waiting. My name is Michael Turner. I worked as a radio operator on a Great Lakes freight ship for several years. I've heard storms. I've heard panic. I've heard men cry when they think they're about to die. But nothing compares to what I heard one night in November 2007 on Lake Superior. We were heading east toward Cleveland, Ohio, hauling iron ore. The ship was the SS Northwind, an American lake freighter. The weather was calm, no wind, no waves worth mentioning. That's important. Because what came over the radio did not match the night. It was just after 7 p.m. when the radio crackled. At first, I thought it was static. Then, a voice came through. Low, distorted, strained. Mayday, Mayday. I leaned forward. The voice gave a ship's name. SS Edmund Fitzgerald. My blood went cold. Every sailor on the Great Lakes knows that name. The Edmund Fitzgerald sank in 1975. All 29 crew members died. No survivors. No distress calls after it went down. The ship had been gone for more than 30 years. I responded immediately. This is the SS Northwind. Identify your position. The reply came back slow, broken, like someone struggling to breathe. We're taking on water. The wind is tearing us apart. We can't hold her. I looked around the radio room. The windows showed calm water. The sky was clear. There was no storm. I checked our radar. No ships within 15 nautical miles. I checked again. Nothing. The radio signal strength suggested the caller was close. Too close to be invisible. The voice came back again. Louder this time, more desperate. We're losing her. She won't answer the helm. There was real fear in that voice. This wasn't a prank. You can hear when someone is acting. This sounded like a man who knew he was about to die. Something else bothered me. Between sentences, there was a strange sound. Not wind, not water. It sounded like metal groaning. Deep, slow, like a ship under impossible pressure. I called the captain. He came in and listened. His face changed the moment he heard the name. He ordered me to keep the line open. We tried to trace the signal. Nothing made sense. The coordinates the voice gave? They matched the exact location where the Edmund Fitzgerald sank in 1975. Around 8 p.m., the voice came back one last time. Very quiet now, almost tired. "We're not going to make it." There was a pause, then the sound of rushing water, then silence. The radio went dead. No static, no cutoff, just nothing. No more calls came in that night. None of us slept. We kept checking the radar. The water outside stayed calm. Too calm. Like the lake was holding its breath. Officially, we logged it as radio interference. That's what the report says. But here's something most people don't know. Our ship, the SS Northwind, was built using the same design plans as the Edmund Fitzgerald. They were considered sister ships, and our ship had been the last vessel to communicate with her before she sank in 1975. I don't know if we spoke to ghosts. I don't know if sound somehow traveled through time. I just know this. The fear in that voice was real, and it didn't belong to someone alive in 2007. Lake Superior doesn't give up her dead. Sometimes she lets them speak.